Hey, it's your guy Tyrrell back with the interviews. In today's video, we're going to briefly break down Arsenal's new club record signing, Nicolas Pepe, and see whether Unai Emery made the right decision to bring him to the club. We're going to look at Arsenal's shape and see how Pepe will affect the side and if he is the key man to help Arsenal push into the top four. But before we get into today's video, don't forget to give our video a thumbs up if you do enjoy it. The bell below does give you daily notifications regarding our organic, unfiltered soccer/footy analysis, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. So now let's get to the board and look at Arsenal and determine whether Nicolas Pepe is the man to do the job. So in today's video, we're going to briefly analyze Arsenal's new club record signing, Nicolas Pepe. He is the major signing for the Gunners in this summer transfer window, and hopefully for Gunners fans, they do add to a defense that needs some work to be done. Under Unai Emery, you look at Arsenal's first season, there were signs of improvement. However, on the flip side, there was work that needs to be done, and they show that over a 38-game season. They scored plenty of goals. Only Manchester City and Liverpool outscored them in league play. However, from a defensive aspect, in the top 10, only West Ham and Manchester United conceded more, and they need to do better from a defensive aspect if they want to challenge for the top 4 spot and challenge for major honors both domestically and in Europe in the near future. So that's why it's a bit disappointing that perhaps Arsenal won't add to their defensive backline, because clearly that is one area that needs to be bolstered. But now we have to focus on the main man that they signed thus far. That's Pepe. So when we do look at the board, we have Arsenal here in a 4-3-3. We think this will be their main setup in most games because it allows them to play a frightening front three of Lacazette, Pepe, and Aubameyang out in the wider areas. And Pepe does fit the role of a traditional Unai Emery wide player. He wants his wide players to drift in centrally and break in behind beyond the striker when the opportunity presents itself, because technically they are wide forwards, and that is exactly what he brings to the table. You think about it here, you look at the midfield, it kind of shapes itself. They have 4 players that could vie for the 3 spots. Unless they play in the 2, then it's 4 for 2. You're going to have either Tyrrell, you're going to have Xhaka, Dani Ceballos, or Guendouzi fighting for those central zones. They're going to work hard. They're going to try and shift the ball out to the wider players, and that is what you're going to get from them. Lacazette will drop off a bit deeper. He's able to hold up the ball. He's an all-rounder, and that will allow Aubameyang and Nicolas Pepe to either break him behind, or Nicolas Pepe does like to drift in centrally and combine with teammates, so that could be an area for him to exploit. So that is one way that Arsenal can go about things. On the flip side, they can move into more of a 4-2-3-1 if they're playing inferior opposition and teams that kind of sit a bit deeper. And what that would allow is for perhaps Mesut Ozil to start in that central role. We don't know where he stands with Unai Emery going into the next season, but if they wanted to fit Ozil into their front 4, they can easily slot him in there, have Lacazette play through the middle, and the same thing applies there. Pepe drifting in centrally, and that would really help with Mesut Ozil because he can combine with him and look to break down tight-knit defenses and bypass players that are going to make challenges in those tight spaces. Or perhaps sometimes we see Ozil drift out to the wider areas, and that could create triangles for the right back in Maitland-Niles or Hector Bellerin, and they can combine there. Or you can see Nicolas Pepe make those runs in behind the fullbacks once they combine. So that is an area for them to go about as well. If you look at them perhaps going to more of a 3-4-2-1, that would see perhaps Pepe playing off a striker, and then you have the wing backs pushing forward. And if you go that route, what you end up seeing here is that you could have Pepe playing off Lacazette or Aubameyang, and that also works in his favor, because when we look at Nicolas Pepe in a nutshell during his time at Lille, we look at his stats: 22 league goals, 11 assists, so obviously he is a threat in the final third. We do have to state that out of those 22 league goals, 9 did come from penalties, but he is capable of winning penalties for his side, so he is a threat regardless. Sometimes he wins the penalties that he scores, so that is key. But what we end up seeing from Pepe is that he likes to drift into central areas. He plays more so in the half spaces, and it allows fullbacks to push forward. We don't we didn't generally see combinations with Nicolas Pepe and the fullbacks at Lille, but now with Hector Bellerin or Maitland-Niles able to push forward and provide the width from that right back zone or that right wing back zone, it allows him to drift centrally, and he's able to beat defenders. That's what you're going to want him to do. You're going to want him to combine with Lacazette or Aubameyang or Ozil or any midfielder in that central zone, and you're going to want him to break in behind, whether it be in the channels or into the box, because he's able to create for his teammates, whether it be from more so pullbacks than crosses. He likes to move into those zones, or breaking on goal to score. So that is what you kind of get from him. And when you really assess it, let's put Arsenal back into more of a 4-3-3, because we do think that will be one of the base shapes that they'll use with and switch between that and the 4-2-3-1. And let's look at Pepe, because we look at the front three. If you don't have Lacazette there, you can put Aubameyang up front to lead the line and stretch the line, which then could create space for Pepe to play off of him in central zones. And on the other side, you have the combination of Mkhitaryan and Iwobi. The big issue here that I see with him, although he's a goal-scoring threat, although he can drift in and combine with teammates, and although his stats from last season look really good, Nicolas Pepe does seem to drift out of games. He doesn't dominate them. And realistically, when you look at his key strengths in that Lille side, a lot of it came in transition. So what we're going to need from Arsenal now this season is to be better without the ball. And they really have the opportunity to build an extremely devastating counter-attacking side, because if they're able to drop off into a 4-5-1 in that 4-3-3, you have the pace of Aubameyang, Nicolas Pepe, and Lacazette in transition. If you move them into more of a 4-2-3-1, they drop off into two banks of four. You have the best counter-attacking number 10 in Mesut Ozil, who's able to play passes in key areas, and then you still have Lacazette, Nicolas Pepe, and Aubameyang pushing forward. They could be a devastating counter-attacking side, but that would also result in them bolstering their defensive options in the back four, and perhaps Emery doing a lot of training groundwork to ensure that they're much better as a cohesive unit when they drop off into two banks of four, staying a bit more compact, having the wide players do their defensive jobs. And that's another strength that Nicolas Pepe has, is that he won't leave his fullback vulnerable to 2v1s. He does drop off a bit deeper, and he does ensure that that flank is protected. So that is what he offers in a nutshell. He's devastating in transition. He could definitely help Arsenal become a devastating counter-attacking side, but they need to be defensively solid as well. In open play, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. He is, you can say, an improvement on Alex Iwobi and Mkhitaryan, given the fact that he's still very young and he does have a high ceiling, and at the moment he is better than Alex Iwobi, but we need to see it at this level. And for him to adapt to this Premier League, and Unai Emery says he's going to give him a bit of time, he needs to get going. He needs to be able to contribute in the final third, be effective, both scoring goals and creating goals. And if so, then this deal is really worth it, because when you break down his strengths, like I said, he's able in transition to be devastating when he's running at defenders, when there is an advantage, and that is key. And he's able to win penalties and score goals when he's in transition. However, what he needs to really work on from an offensive standpoint is that when they do dominate possession, and there will be a lot of games where Arsenal do force the opposition a bit deeper, is that can he be influential? Because like we saw at Lille, too many games where he drifts out, he moves into central positions, unable to beat defenders when they're compact and dropping off a bit deeper. And when he drifts off into those central zones, he needs to be effective in the final third and make things happen, because he can't continuously lose the ball or waste opportunities so the opposition can counterattack. He does look like a promising star talent. Unai Emery does have a player that he could definitely mold into a great player because the potential is there, but we've yet to see it yet, and this season will be very telling as to whether Nicolas Pepe is the real deal and whether he can help Arsenal reach their goals this season. But let me know what you guys think. Will Nicolas Pepe be a success? Do you think he'll flop? Do you think he was the right signing, and was it worth all that money? Meet me in the comments below. Don't forget I upload videos every day, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And that was your daily dose of the interviews.